So you can see by the turnout today how many people love animals. I mean, we have awesome turnout. People love the animals. The shelter is really, really in need of repair. I mean, the kennels are patched with oven racks and the roof's caving in. We have birds living in the roof. I mean, the dogs have poop on their head sometimes, and people wonder how did that happen. Well, the birds live up there and they just, they get along. But bottom line is we really do need the help getting money to build a new shelter or repair the shelter, whichever they decide to do. But these animals are worth it. They really are. I mean, you can see people love them. I'm just so impressed at how many people turned out today for the ice, and it's just been awesome. But Alice is the one who coordinates most things. I'm kind of lousy at that stuff, but we all love animals.
So we work together as a team. Andrea was here before me, and I just came in and did the other things that needed to be done, and that is gathering volunteers. We saw the need of the beds to be made. We cannot buy new ones, so we repair them. Then Andrea's husband Tim and her son Ryan come in, and we have donors who buy the supplies, but he goes in and fixes and repairs and replaces the misters. Then we get company, we raise money, and Bear Ice Company comes in and donates the ice. Then we have the fans and the heaters that are donated also. But this shelter is amazing. Our youth rate is around 11% right now, and about 7 years ago it was about high 80%. So we've come a long ways. The shelter's worn down, it's old. We would love upgrades, we'd love to build a new shelter. So we need help. And the animals deserve it. The people who put their hearts and soul and time into this deserve it. And we thank you for following us on social media, and for our volunteers who come when we put out a plea to come help. The people show up. This shelter is run by everyone who loves animals, and we do it for animals. And most of these people, I only see them once or twice a year. I can't remember their names. They just show up when we ask for help. So if we can get a new shelter, enough money to build one, can you imagine how many more volunteers would come and help, and the youth rate would be lower, and we could save more animals. So together we can. We just need a new shelter if we can get enough money. So thank you so much.
Another thing we wanted to bring up is little things like that could be repaired here, even eventually till we get that, is like the roof, where the birds actually live in the roof, and it needs tattered. We use the oven racks to patch the kennels. Little things like that, if we could get that fixed, or help until we could get the new shelter. But I think once people get the word out that we need a new shelter. I mean, there was a time when Cesar Millan offered to build a new shelter for them, but the city couldn't get it together, get the property in time. So, I mean, there are options. We just need to reach out to the people and let them know we need help.
Yeah.
So then you also had mentioned there's no sinks in any of the buildings.
Oh yeah.
So here's another thing that we need is if someone could set up a sink, just a temporary sink, or I think they call them wash basin sinks, just one out here for the staff to wash their hands in the bowls. I mean, right now, every single bowl, and anytime they get anything dirty, they have to go to the cat room to wash their hands or anything, and that's really time consuming, being that they're so short staffed. So that would be a nice option. I think somebody offered to set up a sink out here somewhere, and that would really be something nice.
And then also you had said room right there that could be utilized.
Oh yeah, they have a grooming room that's totally not being used. It's over on next to the little dogs area. I'm not sure what it was originally for, but they used to have a lot of staff, and they would groom the dogs at that time. But since they're down to the bare minimum of staff, they don't have anyone to groom the dogs anymore. But that room is just going empty, and it could be used.
So we could use any help, just a little bit, a lot, whatever we can get, we're extremely grateful for. But we now need a lot more help, because we have a year to update the shelter, to potentially build a new shelter. The city of San Bernardino and its pets and its owners deserve it. We finally have gotten so much achieved and done, and we're on a momentum, and we want to keep on going and make it a good thing for the city. The city deserves it.